I don't want this to conflict with one of my other videos, which is why detachment is the worst advice ever, but it is actually a very interesting concept. Hello, yeah, I'm back with another video, and I have something else which is interesting to say. I have interesting opinions about this topic. Sometimes, do you ever notice if you leave a relationship, be it a friendship or anything, you realize, why does that person want you back? Or why does that person suddenly feel like, oh, I messed up, and suddenly they really want to come back into your life? I can think of a lot of explanations for this, so I'm just going to cover it in this video. If anyone is new here, I'm Suzu. I am your blunt YouTuber who likes to basically say things for how they are, but also looking for solutions because we don't want to be nagged at. We want to be told how to do things respectfully. Okie dokie wokie schmoky. So, oh boy, this topic is really something. And honestly, I think this is going to be a vulnerable video, which means it's unedited unless someone interrupts me, which happens very frequently. So, there is one explanation of detachment where if you let go of something, you become magnetic to it. And what this means is that sometimes when you're so clung on to something, your subconscious in particular has a repulsive energy, which then attracts that lack because you keep thinking about what you don't have. Therefore, that's what you attract into your life. And therefore, if you let go of that attachment, detaching more specifically, you then attract everything that you want to allow into your life. It's like oftentimes with money, someone complains that, oh, they're not making enough, blah, blah, blah. You're going to keep attracting more situations where you need the money, where you have lack. But if you tell yourself, you know what, I'm grateful. This is a grounded and rooted belief, by the way. And you're just so detached, money will come to me, that kind of mentality. I don't have to worry about it. Then you realize, wait, why does this click? Sometimes this gets me when there is something I don't care about as much. Maybe a video that I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. It somehow does well than a video where I'm like, oh yeah, I really put my heart and everything into it. But that all depends on the attachment. So detaching with good reason is essential, but we don't detach for the reason to just receive more. We detach so we keep our sanity, because if we're always thinking about something and why we're not getting something, it's going to cause deep stress, and that's not fun. Now, here's the other explanation. When it comes to people, again, you can use the subconscious idea as well. In fact, a lot of things are linked to our subconscious. But to anyone who wants to think about something more general rather than spiritual, it's quite simple. If someone has always been with you for a long period of time, they're used to that exposure. But if they suddenly notice, wait, I don't have access to it anymore, it acts like a threat to their system. And this can be a good or a bad thing, because sometimes this helps people open their eyes, yourself included, because there are times where you don't notice how important someone is unless you lose them or you come close to losing them, etc. And it sends a signal to your brain, to your heart, to whatever you feel from. And then you notice, wait, I want this person back. Oh, this is how I feel about this person. So what do we do when people mistreat us, for example, and then suddenly they want to come back to our lives? The blunt answer is stay the hell away, okay? You limit access for a reason, and you be proud of that limitation, okay? Sometimes people want to come back because they notice that you have given them something no one else will give, okay? So I've mentioned many instances about the betrayals I went through. I can't even speak. And even now, I do sense this person is trying to make a way into my life. When I focused on it too much and reminisce, I think, oh crap. I see things that we used to see together. I see things that we used to talk about together. And I'm thinking that's the energy I'm leaving out. And I therefore do not wish to engage with that. But it shows that sometimes, energy is a really interesting thing. And it's not about reading minds, nothing to do with telepathy, nothing like that. It's just a general thing. Sometimes just thinking about someone gets you to the same energy. That's why you suddenly notice, oh, this person texted me, this person called me. You're on the same frequency as that person. And it's actually quite interesting. But other times you just notice, okay, you are in a desperate frequency. and that person's not. So that's why when you really need something, you notice, wait, why don't I get it then? But when I don't care, I don't get it. I mean, I do get it. Yep, that's all about the attachment. But okay, let's say some people don't understand what the hell I'm talking about. So we can talk about it from a much more general perspective. People miss you, okay? People realize, okay, I effed up, this person has left my life. However the situation is, okay? People do miss you, and people miss what you gave them. And that's the thing. It's like, what if you're with someone who mistreated you, but you were kind to them, right? That person won't realize it. And then all of a sudden, they notice, wait, this person was kind to me when no one else was. They're going to crave that like a freaking, you know what? And that's why they start to want to come back into your life. Now, there are different ways to look at this, okay? Don't be stupid, because sometimes people want to do the same thing over and over again just so they can have access to you. There are times where people genuinely wish to change, and I'm all for people having a second chance, but I'm not stupid. Like, if you want to be someone who... Okay, listen to me, okay? Zooming in, because this is serious talk. This is something I do in my channel. If you give someone a second chance, right? Make sure that your trust in them has been reduced by at least 10 or 20%. Because you don't want to allow that person into your life. If they've done it once, they can do it again. More than capable. So before someone earns your trust again, give them more opportunities to prove themselves. And that's something I wanted to speak about, because some of my viewers actually mentioned something about being involved with past friendships or past connections, and they're in a bind because they're thinking, wow, this person really was mean to me. This person didn't give me any chances. All of a sudden, they're telling me they miss me. Don't fall for it, okay? It's like dopamine. It's cheap dopamine. It looks like something that is like, oh my goodness, during the moment, it's so cool. And then there's a high. Like, you guys should know what I mean by high in this context. It's like motivation. Like, oh my goodness, like they introduce something so cool to you. It's like dopamine to your system. And then you realize it's the same thing over and over again. And that is exactly what keeps us addicted to these relationship patterns. If we see that people screw us over, and I've gone through this myself too many times, but I've become more mindful of it. People show us something that we've never seen in anyone else. And we're like, oh my goodness, this is new. And then you realize you're into the same cycle again. That's why I say it's like dopamine, because it's like, wow, there's something that keeps you addicted. There's something that's like, wow, this is the high. This is the part where I'm like, oh my goodness, this looks epic. And then it's the same pattern again. Same old. It's like a first impression. When you have a good first impression of someone, it's like a high to your system. I know it's such a weird word to use, but I can't think of anything else, because it kind of drives you into a feeling like, I want to get to know this person. And you become a bit more interested in this person. So what I can say from that is, a good first impression is obviously wonderful, but you also have to see it like it's not a defining factor. It's one of them, but just because you have a good first impression does not mean, okay, it's done deal. That's why I don't like love at first sight. I think it's kind of dumb. Please listen to me. I don't think you can genuinely fall in love with someone just by seeing them. I think that's absurd. You need to get to know the person, and if you think love at first sight is real, I think it's very based on looks and just the surface. You want to get to know someone from the roots, so that's where I say be careful, guys. I'm not trying to give a lecture on love at first sight, but I'm just giving an example, because that is where I really feel a lot of dopamine, because people are like, oh, this person's handsome, this person is perfect, this person's amazing, I want to be around this person. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it so many times. I know a lot of people who have gone through that route and then they regretted it later on. Some people are happy, but I guess it does depend on how you take it forward. But generally, I think it's something you have to be pretty sensible with, like everything else in life. So why is it that when you let go, people are just so addicted to you like a magnet? Because people start to notice you're not there. The places you used to be, the things you used to say, they miss it. And sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad. Sometimes it humbles them. Okay, I effed up, didn't I? I noticed this person's not here anymore, so they want to apologize. Sometimes they notice, wait, I don't have a punching bag anymore, like F you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to be very careful, because you giving someone another chance is you being kind, which is not an issue, but you being naive is a problem. So make sure that you don't give people the benefit of the doubt that quickly. And that's why I say you need to have reduced trust by about 10 to 20%. That is a lot. It's more than you think, actually, because you are essentially expecting them to, what's the word? I'm not saying be biased against people who screwed you over once, but you are leaning more towards, okay, I know this person's probably going to disappoint me than they are. Okay, maybe it's not 10 to 20. Maybe it's more like 50 to 60. Actually, whatever. Just keep it level. And the whole point of this video is not to talk to you about, connections and trusting people. It's just about knowing that when you let things go, things just flow to you in a better way. When I was too obsessed with this channel, when I was too obsessed with proving myself, it made me burn the crap out, and making videos felt like some kind of business job thing. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this. But when I told myself, I don't care. If it happens, it happens. It gave me a better mentality. And this is what happens with people as well. So I had another discussion today, and it really, now that I think about it, this also applies. It's so interesting how daily conversations can spark video ideas for me. Or even when I'm thinking about a video idea and I'm like, oh yeah, I spoke about this as well. So I spoke with one of my viewers today about friendships, about good friendships, etc. And one of the things that I really caught on was obviously how people present themselves. What makes a friend and what makes a civil stranger? A friend goes more than just asking you how you are. A friend actually goes to the point to get to know you as a person. That's what a friend is. And I think we use that word like it's just something we want to be seen with nowadays. But in all honesty, there's nothing wrong with, befriending people like that. But don't call someone a friend if you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, this is my friend, and you just chill with them and that's it. And you never hear from them ever again. That's what happens when people get too comfortable online. How does this link to detachment? What the fudge? Okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. The thing is, guys, it's really crucial to know when people screw you over and when to not give people a chance. If people did something bad to begin with, they can do it again, especially if it's a conscious decision, like betrayal, for example. Yes, it still weighs on me. It's hard to not talk about it, but it's a good way to get out of my system. And oh my goodness, I am so silly. I forgot to add a trigger warning before. Crap. I'm trying, okay? But generally, I don't mention anything that is super dark and stuff, but just more surface level stuff, unless I specify otherwise. I really think that it's important to know when to let go. I don't want any of us to be super obsessed with things. Let life flow. If things are meant to be, they're meant to be. If someone is meant to stay, they're meant to stay. That's exactly what I remember telling them. I just focus on what's meant to stay will stay. So with relationships, I'm not saying you shouldn't care, as in I don't care, but I treat those relationships like ultimately I don't care, which means that, okay, fine, right now I'm enjoying it, let me enjoy it, let me do my best. But I'm not going to treat it like, okay, this is like a soul friendship till the day I go bye-bye. I'm not treating it like, okay, this is going to end tomorrow. I'm just treating it like, you know what, I don't know how long it's going to last for. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I'm going to do what I can as a good friend. That's it. And pardon me, but it also depends on the interaction with the other person. If you bore me, I will give you the same energy. Likewise, if I bore someone, they will give me the same energy. So everything is linked to mutual connections. You get what you give. That's what happens. So if someone is in your life trying to call you back and they hurt you, you are the best judge of that. And it depends on the magnitude as well. So in my case, when I talked about being betrayed, look, someone actively decided to go against me when we used to be really close. This isn't an accidental, I hurt you type thing. This is an I did this on purpose type thing. Even if they acknowledge their faults or whatever, I will not take that lightly. So I can pray for them, I can wish well for them. But you can't have access to my life. That's what I can say. That's the consequence. Give them a consequence as well. So if someone screws you over, instead of just saying, okay, we're not going to be friends anymore, we're not going to chill, give a mental consequence. This person will therefore not be allowed to go to my birthday party. Sounds stupid, but whatever. Give some kind of mental consequence. Even if you have forgiven that person and you're close to them again like before and they hurt you, right? Still give some kind of mental consequence. Maybe I won't tell my personal life to this person as much anymore. Or maybe, like, it doesn't have to be something so drastic like you're getting kicked out of my house or whatever. But definitely make a differentiation. This is how you know to yourself that you are being careful. If you suddenly start letting someone back into your life and they did you wrong, okay, because some of my viewers mentioned this, and then they start doing the same things, you're going to give them power to walk over you. But if you start telling yourself, okay, I'll keep them at arm's length. That's exactly what I was supposed to say. Keep them at arm's length. Maybe don't invite them to physical things. Maybe don't tell them personal things, because they can use that against you again if that's what happened. That's what I'm saying. Be kind, ask about them, how they are, but don't let them screw you over. And that's what people need to understand. And then people are going to complain, oh, this person hurt me again. No, you need boundaries. No matter if you've been hurt or not, everyone needs to have boundaries. And I once spoke to someone else about this as well, having boundaries, why it feels wrong. So at first it feels so wrong to have boundaries. It sounds like such an extra thing. But boundaries are what is needed to let relationships function. Because if there are no boundaries, right, how on earth can you know what you can tolerate and how the other person can tolerate things? You are not extra. You are not being needy. You are not being pathetic. You are not being unreasonable. You have valid emotions and they need to be met. So people act like, oh, boundaries, it's like such a cliche, corny term. Trust me, man. If you don't have boundaries, what the hell are you doing? Because if the relationship or anything doesn't have boundaries, even when it comes to your daily work, right? I'm sorry I'm talking about people so much. If you don't have boundaries for whatever you do, you are not going to have any limits, and that is going to be bad. So, key example, me making too many videos on this channel. Unfortunate truth. I didn't give myself a clear boundary. What happened? I burnt the crap out, started having a lot of problems, and I was thinking, is this worth it anymore? Then I realized, you know what? We need boundaries. So now after boundaries, I have more clarity. I actually like my videos more. And I actually feel like I have better topics. Please let me know. Okay. I still want feedback on my videos. Genuinely. And I know I'm speaking my mind, but I still want feedback. Besides the volume, I'm sorry, I still want to tell you guys this. And it's like the game has had enough of me. Oh, I thought it was going to kick me out. Cool. Thank you, game. So yeah, I just want feedback. And of course, I'm open to topic ideas. I'm still open to the commentaries, actually. Are you kidding me? Okay, this sucks so freaking much. Yep, you guys know my email, which I have on my channel anyway, so. Oh boy. That's the thing though. I really think that a lot of us need to understand our worth. What the fudge are you talking about? Live reaction of Suzu crashing out. Okay, but seriously, guys. Just be present with things and be more aware of things. If someone thinks you're crazy for having boundaries, you already know that person is not good. Okay, look, no one is telling you to go to a person and just be like, oh yeah, let me just tell you about all the stuff I hate. Don't do this, don't do that. That sounds like you are putting that person on some kind of pedestal, or it sounds like you are trying to make them fit into a mold. Now, I got something which I would like to share with you guys, which I also shared with one of my viewers. When you do make new connections with people, test them secretly. Okay, listen to me, okay? This is not undercover spy stuff. When you get to meet someone for the first time, pay attention to them secretly. Make a mental checklist for yourself. Don't tell them, okay, this is what I want. This is what I need from a friendship. Don't be like that, okay? That sounds like you are just needy and you don't want to be like someone like that, okay? So you want to test them secretly. And what that means is if you have boundaries in your head, okay, this person will make me feel safe. That's number one. Someone should make you feel safe. If you don't feel safe around someone, red flag. Okay? So if you feel safe around someone, that's one mental checklist. Let them do that because listen to me, guys. This is the key thing that people don't take. The reason why I tell you to do it secretly is so you can get a genuine reaction. Yeah, that's right. Suzu's thinking smart here. No, but for real. Because if you tell people, this is my checklist, this is my boundaries, this is blah, blah. Okay, boundaries, you have to tell them at some point because you don't want to feel uncomfortable. But when it comes to what you expect from the friendship, let it come to you. Because then people are going to pretend to be that character for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, people better not be DMing me and telling me, oh, I want to be your friend, Suzu. And then just talk about my checklist. No. Seriously. I'm all good for fun and giggles and YouTube chats, actually. But that's the thing that people don't get. If you start telling people, oh, I want to be with someone who's funny, I want to be with someone who's kind, I want to be with someone, blah, 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 people are going to make a fake character and appeal to you. And then from that first impression, that's your dopamine hit. Not literal dopamine, but metaphorical. But if someone is authentic with you and you already see those things, that's how you know they're the real deal. Because come on, if I want to be friends with someone, yeah, and they tell me, oh, I want to be around this kind of person, my immediate instinct as a human being even would be, how do I become more like that? You see, that's why some people change their hobbies. Like if they have a partner or if they have someone they like or something they want to do, they're like, oh, I want to learn how to be more interested in this book or in this topic because this person likes it. Yeah, that's pedestalization, my friend. So make sure that you have all of this in check. This is like VIP advice, by the way. Like I would keep this kind of stuff to myself. I don't like to gatekeep, but still take it wisely because when you do that, you get a genuine reaction from people, and that's how you know who the real deal is. So anyone who uses this advice, you're blessed because I don't tell this to just anyone. Just whenever it's relevant, I guess. But that's the thing though. That's how you tell. And it's up to you how long you want this test to be. This freaking boat does nothing. It's up to you how long you want it to be. And then when you feel like, okay, this mental checklist is complete, be reasonable, by the way. Don't do something like this person got to be rich, this person got to bungee jump for me. No, you got to be reasonable and you got to think, okay, this person makes me feel safe. This person is kind. This person is thinking about me and stuff. But keep that mental checklist, not just for day one, because that's first impression, but for a while, okay? Because day one, everyone tries to be their best. Okay, even me. When I get to meet people for the first time, I want to make a good impression as well. Of course, I want to be as sincere as I can, but everyone tries to extra hard for day one impressions. So that's where you have to be a bit careful. And especially with people coming back into your life. You might think someone has changed. You might think, but that's the thing. That is where things appear different, but then you go back to the same cycle. So that's where you have to be very careful. I know it's a bit all over the place, but I feel like it has some kind of structure. So it's not just about detaching. It's about understanding people and different roots and why you let go. Because when you let go and have boundaries like this, it happens. So when I let go and I had boundaries for my channel, I didn't burn out as much. My videos felt more authentic. It didn't feel like I had to please the algorithm. It didn't feel like I had to do it to prove anything to anyone but myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I try to let go and let things come to me. If it's meant for me, it's going to reach me. Me complaining about it isn't going to speeden up the process. It's going to make me lose my sanity. And I don't want that to happen. Don't want you guys to have the same. So I know I went on a bit of a tangent, but I still think that some of the things I said related. Because when you let go, you can see so much. It's like when you let go of a person, you can say, okay, I never noticed these things about this person before. I never noticed this thing about the job I was doing. I never noticed how bad it burnt me out. I didn't. Even though I knew I uploaded like a maniac and some people told me, Suzu, you need to stop uploading this much. When I took a break, I was like, what the fudge? That's when I realized, by detaching. And your advice from this video is not to quote unquote detach. That's not my advice. But it's to essentially let go of something to the point of obsession. Because that's what a lot of us need right now. Approval from something, from someone. Does not define you. And I know I mentioned quite a lot of random things here, but still, I think it relates. So that's what I would say. That's why some things cling back onto you. Some people come back to you. Some opportunities do. And then when you realize, what's the point when you've let go? You know, when you ever give up on stuff and you're thinking, what's the point when it comes now when I wanted it before? That's because you are detached. That's because you have let go of obsession. So you've become more receptive and you've become more magnetic towards that thing. It's not life trying to piss you off. It's your energy because you have released something from obsession or from, it's like someone, what's the word? It's like you needed someone in your life, right? And then you let go of that attachment. You're like, oh, who cares? I don't need anyone. I have myself. And then you realize people come to you. That's right. Energy is so magnetic. And also you yourself know that you've had it all along. So yeah, that's what I can say from this video. I know it's gone in different angles, but I think that I have some useful points. And this game doesn't want me, so I gotta go. Bye.